Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera. Good morning everybody. Excellency, Mr. Speaker of the Parliament, is my longtime friend. The leadership of Commission 7 and the members, the ambassadors, also a friend, head of business entities here, so some of you had 2 hours chat last night and they appear again. So would you get out or should I go out? So we keep talking on the weekly basis. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very warm welcome. First of all, I would like to thank Pak Satya Yuda. So he was the one who proposed me to have a speech here, and at the beginning I thought it was just a very small forum for breakfast, but it was a big one, and well, I'm very honored. So this energy forum also attended by the Speaker of the Parliament. A few things that I would love to address. It is not only for the IPA members that we used to spend time frequently, and actually the IPA has consumed most of my time compared to any other associations in this energy sector. So I hope so you contribute a lot more than compared to other sector. One message that the government would love to see in the coming years is that this energy sector should be very efficient, because this is the foundations of many sectors that we are trying at least to pursue. If the electricity tariff is keeping up from time to time, I think our industry, our manufacturing might not be competitive anymore, even though we have to compete with China, we have to compete with Malaysia, we have to compete with any other countries in the world. So this is very key. That is why for the IPA members, we keep debating on the cross-split issue. I keep pushing SKK Migas to review again and again the expenditure that the IPA members or the oil and gas contractors have spent so far. Some of you might not like it, so I do understand. So I don't like it either, but this is the effort to keep pushing this energy sector to be efficient. Second is on the electricity, on the power. Power sector, well, jokingly I said to the President that if every quarter we need to increase the tariff of the electricity, I think the President doesn't need a Minister of Energy. So it can be anybody else to run this department and so on. But what we are trying to do is how to make our single operator for the public electricity, which is PLN. Is there anybody from PLN? To be more efficient on the day-to-day basis. We have issued a few breakthrough. Well, at least I think it's a breakthrough for the power. One is that we encourage people who are willing to do business with PLN for building or for development of the IPP. If it is a steam turbine, they have to be in the mine mouth. So it has to be mine mouth coal-fired power plant, as long as in that location or in that island. So we base on the island that has a coal reserve. This is one. If you have gas resources, So we encourage people to build a wellhead gas power plant. So if you want to keep going with the Jambaran Tiung Biru, so you can build the power plant. So in our view, it is in the long term, it is a lot cheaper to deliver the electricity compared to what we need to deliver for the gas and for the coal. So it's a it's technical debate and so on, but I'm willing to have a discussion for this if you need to. So yesterday, Annie, E&I came to have a discussion with me, and what E&I proposed is to have the first offshore large wellhead gas power plant in the Makassar Strait. It can be up to perhaps 400, 500 megawatts floating. It's a deep water. So we support that idea, because if we build the power plant at the wellhead, I think we reduce the transportation costs, and we cut off all the unnecessary costs that are happening at the moment. Is it very interesting or not interesting? I don't know. But well, at least for some of you, might be very shocking. For the coal mining is coal is a global commodity. Nobody can control the pricing at the moment, and so on and so forth. In our view, if there is a big compromise between China and the United States for the climate change issue, I believe the coal price will also get impacted, either going up or going down. But I tend to see that the coal price will get impacted negatively. China at the moment produces 3 billion tons of coal every year domestically, and their consumption at the moment is more than 3 billion tons. Well, it can reach up to like a 3.5, 3.6 billion tons of coal every year. If China is allowed to increase 10% of their current production, so becoming 3.3 billion tons, I think all the coal producers in Indonesia will get impacted. Indonesia only produces 400 million tons of coal, plus minus, per annum. And the domestic consumption at the moment is only about 20% of the production. So I think it's about 80 million. So most of them go to electricity or go to power plant. So that means another 320 million at the moment are being exported. So if China produces more, I think the coal price in Indonesia will get impacted. So in order to avoid many unnecessary problem in the coal sector, so that's why the government suggested, so for all coal miners, as long as PLN as the national electricity operator can absorb, to build the mine mouth coal-fired power plant. So you do not need to deliver the, well, is there any people from INSA? Okay, so don't worry, I think we do not try to reduce your business, so you can keep going with the business. Yeah, but the next power plant should be expected for the either wellhead gas power plant or mine mouth coal-fired power plant, as long as the island has the resources. Another thing that the government is aiming at the moment is, well, I just got the news this morning that the president has signed the presidential decree to enable my department to put a solar panel for at least more than 2,500 villages that do not have electricity at all at the moment. We have at least 20, well, 2,519 of villages that do not have electricity at all. It is big. It is big. It they carry around at least 450,000 of families or households, and perhaps carry about 2 million of our fellow Indonesians. The government is trying very hard. So I personally, I'll be the in charge to keep pushing to electrify the villages. At least by the end of 2018 or 2019, the 2,500 villages should have the lightings. At least for the lightings, even though it's not electricity, at least for the lighting. So I need support from the Commission 7 to have the same. Well, it is not for the business, but this is for the. This is for our fellow Indonesians. My friend Pak Hari, so he graduated from Pertamina for after 35 years of professional work at Pertamina, but we rarely discuss about the lifting or the EOR or whatever exploration. So, but we discuss many things about what the basic need for the public, what the basic need for our fellow Indonesians that are still being left. If you talk to some other areas in Indonesia, even in the middle part or in the western part of Indonesia, there are also another at least 10,000 villages that do not have electricity sufficiently. If we combine, maybe at least 15 million inhabitants or 15 million Indonesians cannot have the electricity services at the moment. This is the goal. So if you ask me, how about the renewable energy? The commitment is like this. By 2025, I might not be here anymore, I don't know. But by 2025, the commitment for the energy mix is 50% supported by coal for the electricity, 26% supported by gas, the rest supported by the renewable energy. So it will include the hydro, the wind power, the solar power, and the biomass, and the waste management that we are trying to introduce to many big cities in Indonesia. And geothermal, of course. Geothermal will be very big. Anybody from renewable energy group here? No. Yeah, maybe don't. I think they don't like me because I keep pushing down the tariff. There is a strong debate in this industry, so about the pricing and so on. But what I'm going to say is that the government is always aiming to have the least cost of the power, the least cost of the electricity. Christina last night asked me whether the government is planning to have a nationalization effort for the oil and gas company. My answer is no. No and no. So my new friend here, so the new head of Pertamina, where's the new, he's still smoking or something? Where's the new head of Pertamina? Well, I keep telling Pertamina, at the moment we are mandating Pertamina to continue production of the 10 concessions that are going to expire soon, including the largest one is Mahakam Block from Total. Oh well, Pak Samsu Alam is there, so is the upstream director of Pertamina. But if they do not perform well, so we will not continue giving it to them. few colleagues from SK Chemicals asked me, this is important, yeah? You read it down. Why we keep giving this to Pertamina? We believe that Pertamina can have a cost leadership. But if you can have a partnership with the government with a lot cheaper cost compared to Pertamina, I keep go with you. I don't go with Pertamina. So that's clear. The Pertamina guy is there. So this is very important. I think you should give me applause for this. Well, my closing remark that we keep welcoming investors, domestic investors, local investors, and this energy sector. So, Pak Setia Novanto, if I may explain to you, since 2015, 80% of the investment made in Indonesia, not proposed, but made in Indonesia, 80% comes from this sector. 80%. So BKPM recorded that 80% of the investment came from energy sector. The power, oil and upstream oil and gas, the midstream, the downstream, and the general mining. Thank you very much.